Welcome to day 12. This module's on visualization and imagination. This is a very powerful part of creating and attracting the things that you want. Even Einstein says that imagination is more important than knowledge because visualization and imagination takes energy and that energy grows into something. And we all know through law of attraction, wherever you place energy, you grow. So just as you might have fears about something, and if someone's consumed with a fear, it pretty much is attracting that very fear to them, and they will create the very thing that they've feared. Just as something that you've wanted your whole life and you've placed energy on it and you've seen it come to you, you will create it coming to you. It is a very important aspect of getting anything that you want in your life. So if you look at people that have achieved things, they'll often say, I imagined it, I envisioned it, it came to me. So there's a story about Ellen DeGeneres that she said that at age 21, she was really down and out. Her best friend had died in a car accident and she had no money. She ended up living in this flea-infested one-bedroom apartment that was really horrible, and she just was trying to make sense of life, and she was there, starts to have this imaginary conversation with God and asking about, well, what is the purpose of fleas? And then this story would go on and on, all these questions to God, and it was actually pretty funny, yet she didn't mean to be funny, and she delivered it on some sort of comedy show, and then it won this award. But she said after the first time she delivered it, she said in her mind, she goes, you know what, I'm going to be on the Johnny Carson show and present this. And that's exactly what happened. She ended up being on the Johnny Carson show, and the rest is history. But there's many times where you've watched people, say things about their future, that they've got this vision of what they want. They all have a vision. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them have a vision. Oprah had a vision. She said that was her destiny. She felt inside that, where she was going to go. Well, the same is for how you want to be in life and present yourself and how you want your body to look like. And you need to identify yourself as the body that you want and visualize that and say, well, that's who I am and that's the choices. And a healthy, thin person makes those choices. So this will activate neurons and it creates neural pathways that just keep redefining you, and then it just becomes you. It becomes an energy. I never forget the time when I was about 24 and I was in London and I had this obsession for Prince, and I went to see his movie in England, and you could stay in the theatre and the movie would play over and over and over, and you were allowed to sit in the movie theatre and watch it again and then again. But I also had a bit of an obsession for how his girlfriend looked. I can't remember her name, Athena or whatever her name was. She was, I thought she was really attractive and I really liked her hair. But I just sat there mesmerized in this Purple Rain movie, and I watched it the first time and I watched it the second time. I think I watched it the third time, just mesmerized and looking. And then I left the movie theatre and I said to myself, oh, I want that haircut. And I remember I just walked in to a hairdressing salon and they did my hair just so perfect. They did this weave perm. So a weave perm is, I think they alternate the weave in your hair or something. And it's permanent. But it was just amazing how I just walked in, and it was quite an unusual story for me to actually get my hair done properly, because I have always an issue of getting my hair done properly. And I tried to get that hair done exactly the same way again at different hairdressers when I came back to Australia, but no chance. It was just like no one did what I wanted and it never worked out. So it's just interesting that when you are in focus and when you've got that vision of what you want and you hold on to it, it just magically comes to you. And that's just one little story of many stories. And you have the same many stories of when you've seen something and you've put energy on it, you go, I want that. It shows up. Well, that's what we're going to do today, is to show up. get the things to show up in your life to become the healthy, thin person that you want to be. Now, I've taken some steps of visualization from a guy called John Gabriel, and he says he's had people that just lose weight by their visualization techniques. And he says, number one, you get into smart mode, and that is the first thing is to get your mind into more powerful, highly programmable state of smart mode. All you need to do is find imagery that relaxes you simply and relatively quickly. So that's why when you do meditations and then you become very suggestible, and hypnotherapy, they make you relax. You become very suggestible when you're relaxed and your energy is opened. Number two, make affirmations. You can use an affirmation to make any desired change you'd like, whether it's to change a habit, belief, or food choice, break an addiction, or anything else. Just make sure the words used in your affirmation focus on the positive and take place in the present, not future tense. So I guess that's, I choose healthy foods to eat. That's present. And I like to say I choose, that's NLP, instead of saying, I choose healthy foods to eat. So whatever affirmations I'm saying, it's in the present. I choose to live a healthy life. I choose to, take care of myself. Current, present affirmation. Melt the weight off. There are lots of ways you can imagine weight melting off your body, but I like this imagery a lot. See the excess weight being transformed into life force energy and being stored in your body as a much purer form of energy than fat. You're storing it is invisible, healing life force energy. So it's saying it's converting your fat into this life force energy, so you just see it melt off. So that could be something when you're exercising. You could say, well, this I'm exercising and it's burning off all my excess weight and it's turning into this powerful life force energy that I now have. It's converting my fat into great life force energy. Create your ideal self. Now that the fat is melting away and becoming energy, turn your inner attention to your ideal self. Picture your desired body shape and imagine what it feels like to be sitting inside that perfect shape. Feel your skin tight, muscles toned, belly flat, and a lightness of being. And then 5, envision coming days and months. So imagine yourself healthier, fitter, that process, more loving. Magnetize your future as you see yourself months and years down the road in your perfect ideal shape and body. Imagine that this future version of you becomes a magnet that's pulling you towards the direction of total success. Step 7, bring it back to your body and get recharged. Finally, bring that bright image of your future self back to your body and imagine that super successful future self becomes you right now. As you are sitting here, right, and feel the new you that you have just created charging every cell of your body with success. And then just before you open your eyes and affirm that the visualization you've just done will change your life forever, say to yourself, with the power of mind, I've created my ideal body weight. My excess weight easily and effortlessly melts off, and I allow myself to achieve success in every area of my life. Okay, so there is a video in one of the exercises you can watch that takes you through that process. So you can do that. So the first step is what you're going to do for your exercise 12 is to imagine. So here it is. So just start breathing in as I ask you to imagine these hypothetical situations. Imagine it's 1 year from today, and when looking back over the past year, you realize it was the best year of your life. What does it look like to you? What do you see when you wake up every morning, feeling excited, free of distractions, and convinced your efforts have taken you to your full potential? Visualize what your best life would look like. Feel the emotions and engage in the excitement. Go through all the specific details of the things that made it so amazing. Feel those feelings with no restrictions, no boundaries, and nothing holding you back from these raw emotions. Ask yourself the following questions. How much weight are you losing? How much has your health improved? What are your daily energy levels? How do you look in your clothes? What sort of foods do you eat? What are people saying about your appearance? What are your levels of satisfaction of achieving your goals? How are you relating with your spouse, partner, family, or friends to share the excitement of your amazing life? What does your life look like when it's a year in the future and you look back and it was the best year ever? How free do you feel and how much gratitude is contained in your heart? Take a deep breath in. So they're all the hypothetical questions you could start asking and then bring that visualization in the present. Then you've got step 2, which is that visualization video by John Gabriel that takes you through the processes that we talked about that he does to get you in full visualization. Step 3 is to create a vision board. Now, vision boards are really powerful because they stay in your environment where you aren't often consciously looking at those pictures, but it enters in your subconscious mind, and then the subconscious mind finds a way to attract the very pictures that you put there. That's why it's really important that you watch what enters into your brain, or that you are mindful what is in your environment, because any picture that's not of something you want is going to get into your mind and start creating and attracting those things. So make sure that you create a vision board and there's energy placed on the creation process, and then it sits in your environment, and then it will pull to you the very things that you've written up on that vision board. It's so powerful and never to be underestimated. So you're going to just get a white piece of paper and create a vision board of pictures of how you want to look, on what your life looks like, and make them fun. Write statements down of what you believe about your body, and I highly suggest you pop it in your bedroom so that it is the last thing that you look at before you go to sleep, and the first thing you see when you wake up. You see those, and it will just, because you're in a semi-conscious state, and that makes you very vulnerable and very receptive to energy and to be programmed. There's so many great stories of people creating vision boards and attracting what they want. I love John Assaraf's. He was from The Secret, and he talks about how he always create vision boards, and he became highly successful. But it wasn't until he started unpacking some of his old vision boards, and he pulled out an old vision board, and there he saw this big house on it that he just put a picture of, saying, hey, one day, that's the type of house I want to live in. However, the picture that was on that vision board was the very house that he was living in. And he didn't realize that he had, found that picture on the internet and popped it on a vision board. And next minute, or not next minute, but years down the track, he had bought that very house. So that's pretty incredible proof of the power of vision boards. So I want you to get to creating a vision board. Cut out pictures, write your statements, stick it on a white piece of paper. Normally an A3 is probably a good size to do a vision board on, or any board that you want. It doesn't take a lot of resources to create a beautiful vision board and get your pictures off the internet, okay, or a magazine. All right, so that's some homework for you to do, and I'll see you soon. Okay, thank you.